all those rumblings that we told you all about. Well, the weekend hit, and guess what? Dominoes are falling on the recruiting trail. Next, Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for joining us. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. More on them in a second. We are glad you're here. Everyday listeners, first listeners, thank you for being here. And those of you who listen all the way to the last of the third segment, you guys are in for a special treat today. I am Clint, your host of Locked On Bulldogs, your team every single day, in which I get to bring you breaking news, inside information about the Bulldogs. Glad to have you here. Today, we're talking about three things. Recruiting, because we just got a safety who should light your hair on fire because his hair is, and he's looking for water, and that water is the ball, and he wants to go ball hawk that thing down. Secondly, we're talking about number one recruit in the nation coming to the Bulldogs. We'll talk about that. Indications are sky high right now. And then lastly, how many recruits are we going to get? Like, are we just talking all the recruits, every last recruit, looking at the Bulldogs? We'll talk about that in the last segment, but let us begin talking about the safety who's already in tow, already has committed to the Bulldogs, and that is Jordan Smith. Jordan Smith out of Warner Robins, Georgia, class of 26, 6'1.5", 185, four-star recruit, national top 100, regardless of position, top 5 in Georgia, top 6, 7, 8 nationally. This cat is speedy, is quick, is twitchy, and oh yeah, this just in, he's got the frame to bulk up, and he's got the ability to bring the lumber. All the usual suspects after him: Tennessee, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Alabama. But if you look at his tape, you look at his sophomore season, his junior season, let me just tell you the type of kid this is right off the bat. What he puts on his tape first and foremost is special teams. Look at his tape. He's a hardworking kid. He's looking for contact. He's looking to dislodge the ball. He is natural and adaptive in the backfield. Some guys, when you have this lumbering kind of enforcer type feel, you get locked into a very, very specific style of play, and you're just kind of just downhill. Now, again, I like who we've had at Georgia many, many years. That, to me, is much more like Richard LeCounte. Richard LeCounte had maybe one thing in mind when he was looking for the ball, okay? He was looking to come downhill. He was looking to make a quick decision. It was like a 1 foot in the ground running back. He would go, he would hit that mark, and he would continue downhill. This cat is not. Jordan Smith does not do that. He plays in a back pedal just fine, fluid with his hips open, get depth and get going in a hurry to get back on that backfield baseball kind of turn, ball in the air, get after the receiver. He does that fluidly and without a problem. But again, there's a reason why he's putting kickoff coverage on the film, because he is screaming downhill and he's looking for tackles. And when he puts his hands on you, you're coming down. This is not a hybrid safety. Again, I refuse to play the game of box safety, run support safety, pass coverage safety, just like I do with quarterbacks. In this day and age, if you are simply one of those, you will get exposed. Jordan Smith will not be exposed on this defense. He does fit to me. This is just part and parcel, I think, of more of what Georgia has done in recruiting safeties and getting the transfer portal of safeties. He's just like the rest of them. Christopher Smith, Tyke Smith, Malachi Starks, KJ Bolden. They can be asked to do it all. If you wanted to get nitpicky on Georgia's defense on the safeties last year, and I'm talking nitpicky because the Lions got themselves an absolute dude in Dan Jackson. If you want to get nitpicky, Dan Jackson at times didn't really throw the hips open, put the foot over, put the Starks, very strong suit. KJ Bolden could do that. You saw him elevate and gain depth. Jordan Smith can do those things just fine. I can't talk better about this kid than I do right now. It is exciting. It is thrilling to see. We got ourselves a dang good safety in this recruiting cycle, in this class. And he's early on. He gets committed. He comes on down. All the rest of them, like I've said, all the usual suspects. He chooses Georgia. He says, I want to come play. Kirby Smart puts a premium on trench, offensive line, defensive line, edge. But he also puts a very, very high premium on safeties that can play within his system and let him move the pieces around to all the other spots they need to. You can't come to Georgia and just be a safety that's going to be a ceiling on the top to be I'm going to make sure I'm the deepest of the deepest, everything in front of me. We are an attacking defense. We don't play safety valve coverage. We don't do that. It's not as simple as I'm back here. I'm taking care of my half the field, third the field, or over the top in cloud coverage. No. I'm not doing any of that. We attack. And this is a sign that we're in great hands. KJ Bolden is here. We've talked about the depth of safety being a little thin for Georgia. I'll admit it. I'm nervous. Aguero, to me, is still a giant question mark, one that I don't know exactly. We know we have a sold out, absolute world beater in KJ Bolden. I expect huge things from him this year. I think he showed us at the end of the year. I think his acceleration every single game was this absolute steep climb grade all the way to very, very solid safety. I anticipate him taking a step forward in his sophomore season. Jordan Smith could be a guy that does get on the field pretty early at Georgia. We're thin. We don't have a lot of depth. We don't have a lot of guys that are going to be sticking around for a senior year. Aguero is going to be entering in. He's going to be kind of the most senior, with a couple other exceptions on the team, obviously. Maddox, the transfer, he comes over. The Branch brother comes on over. The Branch brothers come over, one safety, one right receiver. So we have some pieces of depth this year. But know the name, because I anticipate him getting early and often reps when he steps onto campus, when guys declare for the draft, when guys declare to transfer. There will be opening spots for him to come in. Elite safety play. Not good. This is already in the cycle early on. I anticipate him, of all the guys I'm going to list in this episode, I think this is the one that seems like a fifth star, seems like jumping up, a Juan Gaston type jump, ascension, could be well within his reach. I don't doubt it. I don't think it's not. I think it's a pretty good possibility into probability that he's going to climb up and get that. We're going to come back to these. I'm going to let you know why Canwell over the weekend again. This is exciting and should be exciting to you. I'm going to talk about the number one offensive tackle. I'm going to ask a question. Is it really a lock that Georgia has Cantwell? But first, these. And these are, in fact, FanDuel. FanDuel's fantastic. NBA playoffs in full swing. Every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Game-winning shot or breakout player. There's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game. Before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Hey, we like betting on sports. It's fantastic, and FanDuel makes it very easy. What would it look like to combine a whole bunch of mid-game props based on how the action unfolds right in front of you because you have the app, you have the game, boom. FanDuel's here for you. New to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If your bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Talked about how Jordan Smith is, in fact, very, very, very gifted at football, playing at safety play. I anticipate him being somebody that is going to quickly, easily come into his own at Georgia when he lands here. Another recruit that has everyone excited, as you should be, is in fact none other than Jackson Cantwell. Jackson Cantwell, the number one recruit by all metrics. I mean, last week I raved about this kid. I went on and on and on talking about how McKinney at Miami came out, tried to make a big play to talk about how good he Miami is, and lots of people saying, well, he's a Miami lean. No, he's a Miami lock. Crystal ball's coming out. He's going to stay in. He's going to leave Missouri, go to Florida. Miami's a place to get the NIL money. I mean, he's going to have elite talent. Elite talent's transferring in. Nobody's transferring out of Miami. Nope, they are. Cantwell. Now, look, I'm going to say this because I hate using this phrase. When we talk about crystal balls, we are talking about gurus and insiders that can't hack it coaching college football. Okay, like that's just it. It's not. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just calling it what it is. Okay, but there is a lot of momentum that has flipped since the week that Jared Curtis came out and said, I'm going to Georgia. And he said publicly, I'm looking at Cantwell. I'm trying to make my UGA team number 1 and 2, Cantwell, Curtis, get the number 1 tackle, the number 1 quarterback. Yes, please. Sign me up for that all dang day long. And the crystal ball predictions are starting to roll in, and lots of them are taking Cantwell over onto Georgia's campus and saying it's really flipped. It's really flipped. And it's not just Miami, Oregon as well. Oregon was in the passenger seat for a little bit. I think in this, they had their window. I really, really do. I think Oregon could have swooped in. He loved his time at Eugene. Again, I said last week, who wouldn't? But the more rumors I hear, and they are rumors, but the more momentum, it feels like this Jared Curtis flip, this switch that's been flipped. And I say flipped, he was committed to us, and he went uncommitted. I'm using that kind of coyly, but to talk about NIL, the temptation to go seek elsewhere, the flip that happened to say, no, I'm going to go back to the original, and that's Georgia. That showed a lot of players what it really means for Jared Curtis to go out and look at all that was on the market for him. He had all available information, and Cantwell does too. Cantwell has all available information. And the fact that Oregon, I think, fumbled it. I think Dan Lanning had his shot. I don't think he sold him. I think what he did instead is showed him a good time. It's a great time up in Eugene. I think he tried to hammer home NIL far too much. And when you go to Georgia, Jared Curtis sees videos of national championship MVP Stetson Bennett-like trophies being given to him, and then number 1 picks, the first overall draft pick in the NFL draft, Jared Curtis. That's what these players are looking for. They're looking for development. And Jackson Cantwell, to me, feels like he is nearly a lock. We're going to know this. We're going to know very soon. You might be watching this. I could be proven wrong right now. You might be watching this episode. You might be saying, look, Clint, you're just flat out moron. I don't think so. It's going to come out early in the morning, but as of right now, we're close to his commitment, and I think it's going to be Georgia, and I think we're going to start skyrocketing, and more of these dominoes are going to fall. We're going to talk about those dominoes. I'm going to talk about those other players, not just the safeties, not just the tackles, but a couple other guys, and I'm going to see what you think about them. Because here's also word that came out. Word came out not only that Cantwell has nearly said, let's go Dogs, chosen that red and black hat on the table. But there's a number of other guys who are being predicted, being given indications that they're going that way as well. I'm going to start with one of them that from California, from the West Coast. Stop me if you've heard this. A big athletic California tight end coming to Georgia, 6'4.5", 225, out of Modern Day High, Mark Bowman. Now, if you don't know Modern Day, you should. They're perennially the number 1 Southern California powerhouse. I could go on. Every good USC player, even some of the bad ones, come out of Modern Day. Okay, Modern Day is a football factory. They're out of Santa Ana. They're very good. Todd Hartley is about to just continue having his face on the Hall of Fame recruiting placard, the employee of the month in the Hall of Fame recruiting cycle. Todd Hartley is about to do it. Oregon, USC, Texas, Alabama, some of the typical powerhouses in the SEC and a couple local favorites out on the West Coast if he wants to stay there. But he reclassifies. He's now in 26, no longer in 27. And I don't know how to not get you excited about this, but the name of the player who I teased earlier, California kid, big, long, athletic tight end, Brock Bowers, that's who everybody reminds this kid of, is in fact Brock Bowers. You look at his tape, he is natural, he is fluid. That's the thing that people misunderstand about certain metrics. You can measure weight, height, speed, you can clock it. But then there's just a fluidity with the ball, without the ball, getting open in space, finding that comfortable area, and then having the absolute from brain to body connection to just skyrocket and go. Mark Bowman, tight end, seems like he is giving every indication he's coming to Georgia to join a class that is just stockpiling right now. Offensive juggernaut status. Go check him out if you haven't. Marde High, number 1 tight end in the nation. How about that? Just put that 5-star kid, could be somebody that gives us all the feels when things were going great for Georgia, when we were winning championships back to back, and we dropped off last year. Talent dropped off. We were doing it with solid quarterback play, greatest quarterback in the history of college football, and a tight end that was a mismatch nightmare, opened things up for every other receiver and the running game. We could have that. Mark Bowman. I'm going to continue on. Tyreek Green, the 5'10", 190 Buford, Georgia athlete. 2026, Florida State, Arkansas, a couple of the guys after him. How about this? 100 meter, 10.98 seconds. He is going to go. He's a burner. He's a quick kid. He's got highlights from every single year of his high school. And again, let me tell you, when the ball touches his hand and when he finds a crease, he's gone. You're seeing taillights most often in this kid's highlight films. He is nearly a lock as well for Georgia. He's classified as an athlete. Depending on the service that you're looking at, he's going to be top 200 4-star athlete. Ryan Mosley, also 6'4", 206, more in the bigger bodied frame of a wide receiver out of Georgia as well. He's got Texas A&M, South Carolina, the leader in the pack right now for them. Nebraska already nipping at the heels. But Ryan Mosley is another kid who has made it in early indications after this weekend, after Jared Curtis and the news of Canwell comes out. It seems that Ryan Mosley is going to be doing the same. He is leaning towards Georgia. And then Breck Kolojay, IMG Academy in Florida. IMG is just making football players 24/7 is what they do. They can't help it. They don't want to hop to help it and do anything else. But Breck is over there, 6'5.5", 320, interior lineman, 4-star. He's top 300 right now. I think he also gets a bump because the schools are after him. Oklahoma, Colorado. Give Colorado crap and give Deion Sanders some. He's a headache factor. But I will say this: there's a couple of guys in the offensive line that actually their running back situation last year was trash. They had a couple of okay offensive linemen. Truth be told, I'm not playing tongue in cheek with that. Tennessee, Miami, Colorado, Oklahoma, Georgia. Those are schools that love running the football. Oklahoma just got huge running back. They want to make the trenches. Miami has historically had success with that. Cam Ward last year had plenty of time to do what he wanted to do. And Tennessee is very good at running the ball, very bad at training and developing quarterbacks, very good at running the ball. See last year and year before to a degree. They're after this kid. He looks to be as much Georgia Bulldog as there be. And the last name that I'll give you, Carter Lucky from Norcross, Georgia, 6'5", 265, defensive lineman, Ohio State, Florida State, Georgia, leaders in the clubhouse for him as well. A couple sacks, a couple of TFLs. He is high prospect, high upside with his height, weight, speed combo. Right now, 3 to 4-star, depending on the service that you're looking at, but he is also in the trenches. Defensive line, Kirby has gone. And all of this has came on this swell because Jared Curtis and Mike Bobo said, let's go play. I'm going to come back after this. I'm going to let you know about an interesting fact that this is what you do when you're Kirby Smart and you're the NIL era. I'm going to ask you, is anybody right now doing better in the NIL than Kirby Smart? I'm going to present to you a whole lot of facts that say, no, no one is. But first, these. And these are, in fact, Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go between dining out, online shopping, entertainment? It's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO. It's not just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, live streams, and spending in one place. And stop just managing money, but start building a wealth. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals with your partner, without your partner, individually or family. It's very easy to collaborate on this app. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use promo code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your first year. All right. Loyal third segment listeners, we're glad you guys are here. We talked about the Canwell news. I anticipate us getting back on here doing a reaction show when he commits, of what this means and how big of a meaning this is for us, and what other still dominoes out there will continue falling all day long with this kid. And here's an important thing. I asked you before the break, is anybody doing better in the NIL era than Kirby Smart? And the answer is no. Because here's the fact that Kirby Smart has played. It's interesting. You have to play this game. You have to both play. I need to keep the integrity of my organization intact, because I can't go out wasting money and then having to chase kids that transfer out because their brother transferred to the West Coast. Can't do that. You got to be smart with it. You have to be smart with putting your John Hancock on a document, handshake agreement, that says, no, we're going to be ride or die with you. And we need to give you incentive enough to stay, but we can't incentivize you too much that it doesn't make sense and you're going to bail on us like a Quinn Ewers did to Oklahoma and goes to Texas. You can't just give them the bag, but you have to give them enough of the bag. And how do you play that game well? Well, here's what you do with actual football players that want to play football. You incentivize them to do better. It's the easiest thing. I don't know why jobs don't do this. Why more jobs don't do this. And I'm not talking, no. I'm not talking sales commission only. I'm not talking that. Jared Curtis is going to get a base NIL valuation each year. If by number of years in to his time at Georgia, he is not playing well, he's going to stay the same. This base valuation of NIL will continue on, and he will get his somewhat of a bag. He'll probably leave college about $4 or $5 million of NIL valuation, which is going to set him up just fine in life. Okay. But if he's doing very well, and if he beats out the likes of a Gunnar Stockton, who likely will come back next year, of a Ryan Puglisi, of a Montgomery, those guys who are in the quarterback room who have been there for a long time, it's hard to crack SEC starting quarterback and perform well. It's difficult, and we have guys who have been here for a while. But if he comes in and he says, I'm going to play well, I'm going to perform well, I've overtaken them, and I'm leading Georgia onto its national championship ascension again. If that's the mode that you get, then guess what? The NIL valuation, we're going to be getting a lot of FaceTime, a lot of recruits, a lot of all the things will be there for Georgia. And the NIL valuation only means that we should give this kid what he deserves. We should give him every single thing he deserves. Kirby Smart has orchestrated it and started writing in language into NIL valuations that says, play well, get good stuff. Don't play well, we'll keep you at this because we're men of our word. We have integrity. Kirby Smart is those things. He has not just dumped some guy. Dumas Johnson is my favorite example of this. Kirby loved that cat. He was a damn good dog, and I don't care what you say about rules of that. I don't care. Because he helped us. Kirby said, Glenn Schumann said, we don't win those national championships without Dumas Johnson. Not my words, their words. Kirby said, took care of him, said, hey, look, I'm seeing how practice is going, because practice to me is more important than anything else. I'm seeing how practice is going. And I got to tell you, I think you might be in for a long season if you stay here, because I think we have other guys who are going to beat you out. I'm watching you and I love you enough to be sincere and real with you. What if we tried to get you to go somewhere else? What if you wanted to seek elsewhere? And what if, when that happens, we just say to them exactly what I just told you. We don't win national championships without you. Who you getting him a coach? You're getting a guy who loves football, who wants to play very hard. It just so happens he decided he didn't want to stay here and fight and claw and scratch through a very, very, very deep depth chart. And that's what they did. They took care of him. Kirby Smart, Jared Curtis, this NIL collective deal is being a good steward with resources and finances, not just going willy-nilly and spending $40 million to comprise a team, doing it fairly, doing it judiciously, but also taking care of people. And if you're going to go ahead and take care of the ball and you're going to go ahead and perform, then why the heck is Kirby? Kirby's not an idiot. He's not a moron. He's going to value. He's going to give you what you need so that, oh, guess what? You tell all your buddies who are very, very good athletes and want to come play with you exactly how you're being treated. And they're going to want to come as well. It seems simple, but all these schools that are just giving bags to kids and they're having to sue them when they transfer. Kirby doesn't play that game. He does things in the shadows. He does things quietly. But this one, if it's true what he's doing, of course, it's what should have been done. It's what should have been done all along to NIL. If I was some collective that had a finite amount of resources, because we can play this game for a while, but guess what? The college football season comes every single fall. So you don't have you have a finite, limited resource. It's going to become catastrophically bad business model to do what other colleges are doing. It's going to become the norm, what Kirby is doing, and he's doing it ahead of everybody else so far. Everyone else is either over-promising and overvaluing these players. Okay? Remember when you wanted the kid that went to Nebraska because he doesn't have an identity of his own, he has to copy everybody else's? Remember when you told us to just throw the bag? It's going to be the best thing in the world. Well, Kirby waited. Kirby chilled. Kirby stopped. He didn't go chase Raiola. He said, here's what I'm going to give you. It's fair valuation, but you go seek yours. He did. And all of a sudden, Jared Curtis comes around. We are in fine, good hands. Gunnar Stockton this year and Puglisi, who's got a can of an arm. And now we get the number one recruit. And oh, yeah, just in number one tackle, possibly number one tight end. Do you see the ripple effects of being wise and slow and smart and not overreacting to every single news headline that comes up on a feed of your choosing? Kirby Smart is doing it right. He's taking care of business. 8 more might be coming, and how he's handling himself on the trail of recruiting and NIL is something that's going to pay dividends for not just this year, not just next year, but years to come, and I couldn't be happier for it. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. We'll be back tomorrow talking more about them Bulldogs. We'll see you guys then.